Hello, and welcome to another crazy fun episode of Cooking in College, where we always say, eat 'em up. Anyway, today we'll be talking about how to make, for you and for me today, some delicious homemade orange chicken, almost just like at Panda Express. So, you might be asking yourself, what in the world would I need to make such a delicious thing? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Firstly, you'll need yourself some chicken. You can use chicken breasts or chicken legs, any part of the bird that's edible, of course. Beak, feet, feathers, not advised. But today I'm going to be using boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Then, of course, next part, chicken related, but not exactly a chicken, you'll need 1 egg. Then, some lovely all-purpose flour. Mine's bulk, of course, because everyone loves things in bulk. Next, you'll need some black pepper. Oops, there it is. Some garlic and pepper seasoning. This actually has salt, sugar, garlic, black pepper, and tricalcium phosphate. So, you can just use garlic powder and the black pepper, or use a mix. It doesn't matter too much, but the way I like to make mine is with this and with this as the flavorings. Next, something that's super important is the oil, because we're going to be essentially deep frying these. And I like to use peanut oil. You can get it to a lot higher temperature without it burning, and it has a much better flavor and doesn't stink up your house so much as vegetable oil does. But if you don't want to pay the extra for peanut oil, or you don't want to go out and buy any, and you happen to have vegetable oil or canola oil or corn oil just laying around, you can use those. Okay, what else? Oh, we got a very important ingredient that does come with a disclaimer. In order to make it taste like orange chicken, you need some orange chicken sauce. But even though it says somewhere on here that it contains all the ingredients of Panda Express's signature orange chicken sauce, it doesn't taste like orange chicken sauce. It's got way more vinegar than regular orange chicken. So it'll still taste good, but it's not going to taste exactly like what you'd get at the restaurant itself. Also, armpit. Also, you'll need some milk. You don't really need milk. You can use water if you're lactose intolerant, or you just don't have any milk, or you hate milk, or you hate cows, or you hate following directions, and you just want to be a rebel. Just use water. It's not going to make much difference. And then, as far as supplies go, you will need... Oh, this is optional. I wasn't going to start with this, but it was on top of the pile. This is some sort of strainer, but you can use it as a splatter screen when you're deep frying. The oil likes to spurt up, and if you've got this over the top, then you're less likely to get burned. No one likes to get burned. Okay, you're going to want something small like this to put your oil in to do the deep frying. You can cook more, of course, if you use a bigger pot, but you have to use more oil in order to get the right depth. So, since peanut oil is kind of spendy, and I'm a poor college student, I'm using a small pot, and I'll cook mine in small batches. And you can see how this might fit over the top and protect the money maker, all this. No good recipe is complete without a spooky knife. You can see the reflection of my phone and me in it. Hello. And you want a big bowl. Actually, you'll need 2 bowls. One for mixing up your batter that you're going to put your chicken into, and then one at the end that you'll put all your chicken into and then mix it with the sauce in a bowl. So you want 2 of these. Let's get started. I think that's everything we have. Now it's time to cut up your chicken into chunks, probably about like this. Now your chicken should be nice and artistically chopped into chunks like this, and it is time to move on over here to your small pot, your small burner, and your oil. Then we're going to fill it up, let's see, about like so. So probably about maybe a little less than halfway, about an inch deep. Next, you turn up your heat to about 4.5, or whatever your medium setting is on your stove, and your oil will start to look pretty cool. And while that's heating up, we're gonna go to our first bowl and start mixing up our batter. First, I'm gonna add 2/3 of a cup of flour. Now, I don't usually measure this, but just for the sake of you trying to follow this recipe, you can try it with 2/3 of a cup. But really, it's about consistency. It's not really about the amount, as long as you have enough to cover your chicken, which I always seem to, and I always have a little extra, so I end up just making random stuff out of the extra batter. Next, you're going to add, if you so desire, some black pepper. I also never measured this, I just kind of eyeball it, but you can estimate maybe half a teaspoon, something like that. Give it a little bit of extra flavor. Then maybe about a teaspoon of your garlic and pepper seasoning mix, or just maybe about half a teaspoon of just plain old garlic powder, if that's what you're going for. Or it's still good. Oh, eyeballing. Who knows how much that really was? Probably not a teaspoon, but it should look something like this. Then you're gonna get a fork and stir it around. Okay, so this is what your mixture should look like after you've stirred it. Nice and consistent. Just little flecks of pepper everywhere. If you don't see much pepper showing up and you like pepper, then you can add some more and stir it up again and see how it looks after that. Next step is to add our egg. Now, if you're vegan, you don't need to add the egg, but I sort of doubt you'd be making orange chicken if you were vegan. So let's just move right along. Now you've got your egg in, and now you just want to stir it until it's mixed as thoroughly as possible. And if you're wondering what that tremendous amount of noise is, it's our oil over here starting to bubble. And at this point, if it's going to splatter on your stove, you can put your little cover on it. Don't worry about it until you get this all done. So let's mix it up. Okay, so you got your egg all mixed in. Doesn't exactly look like batter yet. Well, that's where the milk comes in, or if you're not using milk, that's where the water is going to come in. And we'll add that until it gets to the consistency of basically like a little bit thinner version of pancake batter. Okay, so I've added the milk, and this is about the consistency we're getting. Basically like pancake batter. And don't worry if you've got little chunks in there. See, mine's kind of lumpy. That's just gonna the little chunks are just gonna crisp up and give you nice little crunchy parts on the breading of your chicken. So you should be excited about lumps. Heck yeah! Here we go. Next step. Probably all super excited now because I sang you a song. And now you're like, hell yeah! Let's get going on this orange chicken. I'm pumped. So, what do we do next, you ask? See this chicken? I think you do. See this batter? I hope so. Put them together. Time for a swim, chicken pals. Okay, the chicken chunks are all in the batter. Now you gotta mix them up. This is what a chicken plus batter swim party should end up looking like. Here we go. On to the next step. Finding out if your oil is hot enough to cook your chicken the way you want. We have this long piece of chicken fat. I'm going to try putting that in there as a tester and see how quickly that cooks. And that's where you want to put your cover on, especially if you're using your phone to make a video of yourself cooking over hot boiling oil. Looks like it's cooking pretty quick, so we'll probably be ready to get started here once that's done. Now I'm going to wash my hands. I recommend hand washing regularly in all cooking procedures, especially with raw meat. Okay, here's a little fried piece of chicken fat. All I did was turn around and wash my hands and grab a new clean fork and turn around and get this out of here, and it's cooked already. So I would say with some wildly great degree of confidence that it is time to begin cooking our chicken. So let's get after it. This step can be a little tedious because you do want to do one piece of chicken at a time so they don't all clump together and you get a big wad, because who wants to eat a chicken wad? But this is probably going to splatter a little bit. Go ahead and drop that in. It's going to sink to the bottom. And then once it's basically cooked, it's going to float up to the top. But you're going to leave it in a while longer after that until it gets nice and golden brown, and you'll probably flip it a couple times, but we'll get to that when the time comes. A little tip for you is to only put in enough pieces of chicken that you cover the bottom of the pot. Okay, if you start stacking them on top of each other, they're going to stick together, and it's just going to give you a little bit extra work that you don't really want. Woo! It's flying through the screen. Alright, these are looking really golden brown. I'm going to try flipping them around, make sure they look good on all sides. I'd say they do. Now we're going to take them out with the fork. Now I'm burning yourself. This is kind of the most dangerous part. It will splatter on you. It's got to be tough, because with great sacrifice comes great reward. You take a little bit of pain and you get some great orange chicken afterwards. So this is about as golden brown as you want. Any darker than this, it might not be as delicious. So I've set them all aside over here. You can set them on top of a paper towel if you want to absorb some of the oil, but you can tell they're pretty dry looking already. So they kind of suck the oil back in as soon as they're set out of the oil. So once you've got everything out of the oil, then it's time to put in your next batch. So you've got some leftover batter with some little chicken parts in it, and you don't want to waste it because you put so much love and care into creating it. What are you gonna do? Well, my suggestion and what I like to do is add a little bit of extra flour to it until you get more like a bread dough type consistency. Make it into little balls and then make them into like little savory fritters. You fry them in this nice brown oil. Whoop-de-doo. I'll let you know what those look like in a second. Okay, so here's what your fritters are kind of looking like after you've just put them in the oil. They're by no means golden brown at this point, but it'll take them a little while. And while those are going, we can get going on our chicken over here and start saucing it up. So, pour it into a bowl. You can see the first batch I did was quite a bit darker than my other batches, but I didn't leave it in quite as long because I'm hungry and I'm just ready to eat, and it's already cooked at this point. Just not quite as brown at that point. They're both still about the same texture. It's not really that much crunchier. Okay, so once you have your chicken like this, you can eat them just how they are. You'll basically have McDonald's chicken nuggets. Maybe not quite as good, but pretty close. Or you can put a variety of different sauces. You don't have to have orange chicken sauce. If you have a bunch of leftover like McDonald's barbecue sauce, you can make yourself some barbecue nuggets, or make some sweet and sour chicken. Or if you're really cool and you're having a football party, or you just really love hot wings, you can make these into boneless hot wings by putting some buffalo sauce on them. Okay, so we're just gonna take some of this Panda Express orange sauce, or any sauce you want, and just kind of drizzle it over the top, like so. And then take a rubber spatula like this, and just start stirring it, mixing it, until it gets an even coating. And if it's not coated evenly enough, then add some more sauce. And I'll stir this with both hands and show you what it looks like when I'm done. Yum, right? I bet this is making you hungry, because it's making me super hungry. This looks really good, just like something you'd get at Panda Express. So let's check on the fritters. Here they are. This is what they should look like on both sides. I just flipped them right before I stirred the sauce in. Once they look good on all sides, then you can take them out. This has been another tremendously successful episode of Cooking in College. I hope you learned a whole bunch. I hope you had a great time watching. I hope I was fairly entertaining. I hope I was educational. And I hope I was not too horrible for you to learn something from. And I hope you follow through and make this recipe, because it is good. So feed yourself, and always remember, eat 'em up.